Family. While it's been proven to be the strongest thing in the Fast and Furious universe, it's surprisingly powerful in One Piece as well. Along with the theme of freedom and dreams, family is one of the main themes of the entire show, so today let's delve into the theme of family. Oh, and you should subscribe to this channel to gain another family, the Zoro's Chest Admirers family. And yes, I'm being completely serious, there's always someone commenting on Zoro's chest in the comments. I mean, I get why, it's kind of hot, okay, but for real, the theme of family in One Piece is portrayed in a way different from most other forms of media. While in other media, family is often stressed by the importance of loving one another and how family will always prevail at the end of the day. In One Piece, everyone's family is either dead or absent. While yes, it is common for anime characters to not have parents or even a family, almost everyone in the show, with very few exceptions, their families are dead. Zoro? Dead. Robin? Very dead. Brook? He himself is very dead. My point is, biological families mean almost nothing in the show. One Piece stresses the importance of found family over biological family. It shows that your family isn't who you're born with, but who you die for. Yes, I stole that quote, what about it? And as you may already have guessed, family in One Piece is portrayed through pirate crews. The crews that form over the course of the show are the real families. They're the true portrayal of family bonds, and while they very evidently stress the importance of family. Take the Straw Hats, for example. Each and every single one of them have gone through a shitload of trauma, but instead of a therapist, they got a Luffy. Luffy helps each and every single one of them overcome some form of trauma or pain by bringing them into the family and protecting them. Characters who spend their entire lives running and being alone finally found people they can confide in due to Luffy bringing them into the crew. In One Piece, Oda uses families to help characters overcome trauma. The theme of family is crucial to many characters, as many characters have gone through hell and back, and having a family is one of the best ways for them to actually overcome their problems. But there is another pirate crew who can be described as the pinnacle of found family. Big Mom's crew. Because she finds her crew in her stomach. Whitebeard, I'm talking about Whitebeard. What Whitebeard's crew is a perfect example of is how the bond of family can literally shake the world. The love every single Whitebeard crew member has for each other is what allowed Marineford to even happen. If every single member of the Whitebeard fleet didn't consider Ace to be their brother, none of what happened in Marineford could have taken place. Whitebeard's way of taking in crew members as sons rather than subordinates is what makes him such a legend. He fostered a safe space for pirates who otherwise would have never had a family. Whitebeard single-handedly helped thousands of pirates feel at home, which translated into them willing to go to any lengths for one another. Speaking of Ace, however, a lot of his character is about the theme of found family. From the entire Whitebeard fleet to Luffy, Ace's entire life was filled with finding family in those he wasn't actually related to. Ace is a perfect representation of most pirates in the show, actually. Regardless of the reason, most pirates either don't have a biological family or just despise their family as Ace did. And similarly to Ace, most pirates found their family through their crews. Most pirate crews are filled with people who never actually had a family. Joining a crew is their first chance at finding people they can relate to and actually forming a real bond with. Ace's character is quite literally one of the most important characters purely because he shows just how important the theme of family is to One Piece, especially to pirates. Ace's bond with family extends even further than just pirates though. As we saw during Marineford, Garp's reaction following Ace's death showed just how important family can be to a person. Garp, a man who spent his entire life working for the Marines, was about to throw it all away in a second purely to gain vengeance for his family. Oh yeah, and speaking of Garp's grief, let's talk about what Oda uses family for. Depression. Oda meticulously builds up bonds and allows characters to truly embrace one another and become family, just to rip it all away at the last second to create some of the most emotional scenes in all of One Piece. By making characters lose their family, which is arguably the most painful thing one can go through, Oda allows for depression to hit super hard. From Sanji breaking down, to Luffy breaking down, to Carrot breaking down, lots of breakdowns, Oda masterfully creates emotions by using the theme of family as a tool to break our hearts. Along with emotional moments, however, the theme of family is also influential to one other aspect of One Piece. Strength. Crews who view one another as family are typically the most successful crews in the show. It's the crews that would die for one another that are truly the most powerful. And bringing it all back to Whitebeard, one reason his crew was so fierce in the war was their undying determination to bring their brother back. It's unfortunate that the same cannot be said for Ace, who was very much not undying. The Roger Pirates, the Red-Haired Pirates, the Straw Hat Pirates, all three of them are some of the most successful crews in the entire show, and that's because they view one another as family. They don't turn their backs on each other no matter what happens, and they do anything for each other, which allows them to push past their limits. Crews who fail to see one another as family are more prone to infighting and failure, and I think the Rocks Pirates are literally the definition of this. The Rocks Pirates never viewed one another as family. If anything, it was the complete opposite. They viewed each other as beneficial to each other, but at the same time a threat to their safety, which is probably what led to their collapse. Probably. We don't actually know. This also has massive warning signs for two major antagonist groups, Blackbeard and the Marines. Both groups don't truly view themselves as family. The Marines are filled with infighting, and Blackbeard's crew is more similar to the Rocks Pirates in that they just gather together because they have similar goals. Before we go, well, it could just be because those crews are all individually strong. Well, yes, can't argue with you there, but The Scabbards are a great example of how family can influence strength for an otherwise not so strong group. The love they had for the Kozuki family and each other allowed the Scabbards to wait patiently for however long it took just to be able to take down Kaido, who was infinitely stronger than all of them. They were willing to put themselves through any struggles required just to be able to take down Kaido and regain Wano for their family, the Kozuki. The theme of family also plays an important role in world building, but not in the way you may think. While most of this video was focused on the idea of found family and how the crews and bonds pirates form with each other is what allows them to thrive, the lack of a biological family helps set the tone of the show. One Piece is undeniably dark. The Grand Line lacks any proper comfort one can hope for, and the living conditions for most people within this world are unimaginably rough. The lack of a biological family perfectly sets this type of tone up. Having your mother, father, and siblings there for you as a child is one of the most comforting feelings someone can go through. The lack of that is precisely what sets up the tone of the show to be as dark as it is. Characters in this world have gone through hell. Tons of them spend every minute of their lives struggling to survive, and the Grand Line itself is another form of hell. This is perfectly represented by the lack of biological family. This could also explain why so many characters don't have mothers. Mothers are associated with comfort and happiness, so Oda strips that away from characters in order to ensure they are depressed. You know, the more videos I make, the more I realize just how much of a sadist Oda is. And finally, the theme of family is as important to the story as it is because of one person. The theme of family has constantly been an important aspect of Luffy's life, from his childhood days with Ace and Sabo to right now with his crew. Family has constantly played a role in Luffy's life, and since he basically has two family, his crew and his biological family along with Ace and Sabo, he has always had something to rely on. When his brother was taken away from him, he fell back on his crew. He realized that while he lost his brother, he still had his family. Even though Dragon was an absent father and Garp was a torture machine, Luffy still had people he could trust, and family is extremely important to him. The lengths he's willing to go to protect his family is by far one of the most inspiring things in all of One Piece. From charging into literally all three major government islands for his family to even waging a war against the entire world government, Luffy would do anything for his family. The theme of family is quite literally one of the most important things for Luffy in his journey to become Pirate King. Countless times he said that he cannot become Pirate King without all of his family members in the Straw Hats there for him. And while this just establishes family as one of the most important themes in the show, if dreams and freedom are directly related with the One Piece, family is how he will get it. He can't achieve whatever his grandiose dream is without having every single one of his family members there, or at least the people he considers to be his family there for him. Family is forever cemented an important theme in One Piece purely because of Luffy's relationship with it, and how without his family, Luffy cannot become the Pirate King. Overall though, that's it for me. Thank you.